Hi guys. So recently I read the arc of Love Unarranged by NM Patel, and while I have the review up on my Instagram, on my Bookstagram, I realized that there are some things that I still want to speak about but I could not through text. So I thought, why not come up here on video and tell you guys about why I love the book so much. Now there are 3 points that I want to focus for the reasons why I loved it so much. And the first point is that it is a Desi romance. It is not an Indian romance. It is a Desi romance. And here's the difference for me. Indian romances are very, westernized. They're not Desi. They're not like the typical middle class setting that we are used to. They do not care for the big fat Indian wedding. Like, it's not chaos. It's just like, it's like reading about in elitist Indian class going on about their lives. It is not Desi. It does not feel relatable. But Desi romances are relatable. They deal with the joint family system, the arrangement system, the family bondings that signify a Desi family, right? So first point was that this is a Desi romance and not an Indian romance. I have read 2 Desi romances by now. The first is The Rules of Playing with Fire by Varsha Chitnis ma'am, and the second is this one, Love Unarranged by NM Patel. And here's the thing, while I love Indian authors who write mystery, mythological fiction, and stuff like that, I have steered away from Indian romances. I have steered away from Indian authors who write romance, simply because most of the books did not suit my palate. Here's the thing, there are a few authors who write good romances, who write good Indian romances. They have a huge fan following, but for me, they're a bit cheesy for my palate, if you know what I mean. They read like a typical Bollywood movie, right? And there's this one author that I used to love as a kid, as a teen, but now I don't necessarily hate this author and their books, but I would not read it again, because this book is very because his books feel like he's writing them for a movie going audience rather than for a book going audience, right? For someone who reads books, his books feel like he's writing them for a movie. I will not give any names. You can think for yourself, right? I will not give names. I'll not defame any author by name, but that's my personal opinion, and I don't want to make people think that she's defaming this author, she's defaming that author. No, that's my personal opinion, and it should be personal. I have the right to my personal opinions. Second point why I loved Love Unarranged by NM Patel is because of her characters. In this book, we have Kirti Pandya. She is the eldest daughter of her family. She is a school teacher in Lakshmi Nagar school, and she is very responsible. She is very, she is like the Desi heroines that we do not see in movies. Or she is curvy, she is proud of herself, she is feminist, she is not submissive, is what I'm trying to say. She has put forward 3 conditions in order to get married, and while she has met other men, I'm gonna say I wanted to say boys, she has met other boys for marriage, but most of them either rejected her for her conditions, or they tried to negotiate with her to change a few of them. But she did not budge, and I love her for it. I related most to Kirti, by the way. And then we have Akar Mishra. He is the eldest son of the Mishra family. Notice how I said son and not child, because apart from him he has an elder sister. She is 1 year older than him, and even though he has an older sibling, but he is the eldest son, so he has this whole expectations and responsibilities on him that I think every eldest son will relate to. He is used to being responsible for his family, he is used to caring for his family, he is used to being responsible for his family, right? And Akar and Kirti meet. Akar's family meets Kirti's family for their arranged marriage, and right from the get-go we see that from the moment Akar and Kirti, they saw each other's photographs right before they met, right? They liked each other. They thought that the other person looked nice, obviously there was some sort of attraction between them. And then when they meet, Kitty saw that Akar was not a mama's boy, he is taking active part in the conversation between their parents and what his parents are asking, his mother is asking her. He is taking active part in it, and he is asking her questions, he is getting to know her, and Kirti realizes that this person is different than the other boys she has met. So when they talk alone, she tells him of her 3 conditions to get married, and to her surprise, Akar is accepting of those. He is like, your conditions are valid, they are reasonable even, and this lifts a weight off her shoulders, because let's say her conditions that she has put forth, I think if any girl reads the book and sees the conditions that she has put forth, they will agree that it is relatable, that it is something that I want to do myself when my day comes, but it is something that I would do even myself, and it's relatable. We see how Akar and Kirti get to know each other. They have a whole courtship period, okay, and they go on dates, right? They go on ice cream dates. He drives 4 hours from Ahmedabad to Lakshminagar to take her on a date to a beach, because she likes beaches. He likes mountains, but she likes beaches, so he took her to a beach because he wanted to experience her joy, when she's at a beach. And we see them do the whole courtship thing, like late night phone calls and texting each other, and we see them slowly but surely fall in love. And that's why I think the title is Love Unarranged, because even though it's an arranged marriage at first, but it becomes a love marriage for them. And we see how they fall in love, and in the book we see how after marriage Kirti has to live from, she goes from a 5-person nuclear family to a 14-person joint family. And I think every girl has this fear of a joint family, right? Because you are to go from a nuclear family to a joint family is not something easy to adjust to. It's not something easy that you can immediately adjust to, because joint family comes with its own conditions. You have to adjust completely. But we see how Akar and his family, the Mishra family, make it so easy for Kirti. She is treated not as a bahu, she is treated as a beti of the family, and that is something that is so beautiful to read in the book. We see Akar's mother, Akar's younger brother, we see Akar's entire family try to make her feel more comfortable in their house, in her house now, in her family now. And we see how Akar, remember how I said that he is used to being responsible. He's used to caring for people. He's used to being protective. He is used to being the responsible person in his family. So because of that, because he has shouldered the burdens, the responsibilities of his family for so long, he sort of forgets, he sort of forgets how to be like, what it's like to be cared for. He is so busy caring for others. He's so busy being the responsible one. We see his sense of responsibility for his family in the earlier part of the book, where he says that he does not have any passions. After studying, he joined his family business. We can know from that he is very responsible and caring towards his family, and we see how he is now being cared for by Kirti. He has someone to share the burdens and responsibilities with, but he is not used to it, so he is resistant at first. He resisted so much, but he evolves. That's the main thing. He evolves, and we see how both Akar and Kirti develop from individuals to just being Akar Kirti to being Akar and Kirti, and they become this married couple. They become true partners in the sense. The third point why I love this book is because of the familial relationships in the book. Now remember how I said Kirti is treated as the beti of the family, not the bahu. So towards the end of the book, we see how there is something happens, and Akar tells Kirti to go back home. And when his family find out, guys, this is important. When his family finds out, his younger brother Abhi fights against him for his bhabi. His mother, Akar's mother, slaps him and berates him for Kirti. Now, here's the thing, right? If you're on social media, if you're on Instagram, if you see reels, you will come across reels where people do skits, do videos of how bahus face problems from their in-laws, especially the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law. We see that. We have seen that. And it is, I think, refreshing to read about this in a book where the mother-in-law, where the entire in-law family steps up against the son for their bahu. And it was so heartwarming to see that. It was so heartwarming to read about it. It gives hope कि maybe not arranged marriages, maybe arranged marriages are not all that bad. And we also see Akar evolve from a man who has not read any romance books. He doesn't read romance books, but he reads them for her. Okay, he reads them for her. He reads them to get an idea, because she is an avid reader. She is a reader. She loves romances, and he reads them for her to know what to do to win her back. And we see how he goes from a man who does not even watch romantic movies, because he thinks that in romance movies the grand gesture is it's just filmy, right? But he goes and he does a grand gesture for his wife to win her back. And we also see that the grand gesture is his way of assuring Kirti that it's not if you have read the book, if you read the book, you will see how much this grand gesture means for both of them. It's not simply just saying he they dedicated a song to her, or or he did something so out of the box that is not like natural, like that is typical of romance books, right? But it was something that was doable, that was believable, and it was something that that helped Kirti see that he is someone who is willing to change for her. He is someone who is willing to, he is someone who wants their marriage to work. He is someone who is trusting. He is someone who can change, and who can embrace the change that is needed to save their marriage, to be married to each other. I'm not getting this out properly because I'm in my feels right now. But let me assure you that the grand gesture was so meaningful that I had tears spring to my eyes, because it was amazing to see their transformation from beating their insecurities, right? From being a family, from being two people who have their own ideals, who have their own minds, and becoming this equal partners in a marriage. And I'm not going to say about the epilogue because it is so sweet, but here's the thing: you have to, even if you do not want to read a Desi romance, even if you do not want to read, like if you don't like reading Desi romances with arranged marriage trope or anything, I would suggest you to give this book a chance, because as Desi people, we are used to the Indian arranged marriage system. We are used to the Indian arranged marriage setting, and we are used, and I think every girl has that fear of arranged marriages. Like, love marriage is still like not widely done in India. Arranged marriages are still the norm, right? So if you are on the path to getting arranged marriage, or you want an arranged marriage like I do, then this book is definitely, it reads like a guide on what to do, because the 3 conditions that Kirti put forward, those are the 3 conditions, that same things that I will put forward when my day comes, right? And I felt seen, I felt represented, because what's not to love about 2 people who are in an arranged marriage and they fall in love? What's not to love about that, right? So this was my review. I guess this was what else I wanted to say about it in my review, but I couldn't. And I gave the book 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I wanted to give infinity stars. Okay, I wanted to give infinity stars, but 4.5, it means that I will not stop thinking about this book. I had pre-ordered the book. I have the other 2 books in the series. This is the first book of NM Patel that I read, and now I am going to read the other 2 books in the series, and I can't wait for the next book in the series. And I'm obsessed with Akar and Kirti and their whole story, and I think if you read this book, you'll fall in love with them too. And you'll fall in love with the Mishra family as well. You'll fall in love with the Pandya family as well. And the most beautiful thing about this book, you know what it is? It is the bond that a girl makes in her Maika with her father, with her parents, with her siblings, and the bond that she makes in her in-laws house with her father-in-law, with her mother-in-law, with her devar, with her nad. And it is very positive, like this makes me hopeful after reading this book. This makes me hopeful that maybe I can get an Akar Mishra in my life. and maybe I can get a family, an in-laws, like a family like the Mishra family in my life. And this makes me hopeful for an arranged marriage. And I hope that by reading this book, it will read to you like you're watching the movie Viva, but a bit more spicy, and where they're a bit older. They are a bit older, and where the FMC, she's not submissive. She is not like someone who will be walked over, but she is someone who stands firm in her ideals. And I think that this book, you will love this book if you give this a chance. That's all for today, and let's see if I have the courage to upload more videos like this. That's all. Thank you.